I think we know what formerly redlined communities look like, but I'm really concerned about what it feels like. Just really a lack of hope that these things are the way they are and they'll never change. It informs the way a community develops. It informs the decisions our young people makes. That internal shift needs to happen within our people and understanding our own beauty, our own power. The possibilities are really endless. But oftentimes when you are in these marginalized communities, it's really hard to believe that. And so we have to model that.
We had to know and love ourselves.
We have to claim that these things can happen and believe our own people, empower them. That's how things will really change.
All right, thank you, Madam.
Yeah.
From the 1900s up until the 1950s, 60s, Stockton ended up becoming a big hub for Filipino farm laborers. I moved to Stockton at the age of 7. I did move into the Little Manila Historic District. I would remember my grandma going to the Dagohoy Lodge for a lot of functions. Also was a major immigration site for the Chinese immigrant population and the Japanese immigrant population, all that had their hubs in that same area in downtown Stockton.
Pre-civil rights, a person of color moving into a community could actually devalue a neighborhood. Redlining was an insidious practice to basically keep people of color on a certain side of town.
You can actually go and find the historic homeowners loan corporation maps that show that red zones in the same area that was the Little Manila Historic District. I would remember noticing that neighborhood having a lot of disinvestment, yes, a lot of unhoused issues. It's still one of the most disinvested areas in Stockton.
Can you do a mic check?
What?
Can you count to 10?
Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I met Dr. Don Buhulano Mabalon in the 7th grade at Marshall Middle School in South Stockton.
John Mabalon. This is a place that's so rich with history.
We became friends. She was like this annoying girl that always got me in trouble because she'd always be talking. And then when the teacher would look, I was the one that got in trouble. And then the next thing you know, she left to UCLA. I went to SFSU.
This is June 2nd, 1999, 10:35 a.m.
Don and I, when we came back to Stockton, there was literally a wrecking ball in front of one of the last remaining blocks of Little Manila. And there was very little that we could do to stop it. We could not save that block. The city would name it a redevelopment area. The city of Stockton, told us, what right do you have to tell us how to, what to build in a community when you don't even own land in that community? And nothing has happened there since. Messed up thing about that was that, the Alien Land Act didn't allow for Asian folks to own property. And so our community was one that was never able to buy land, which then meant we were never able to create generational wealth.
We first developed a relationship with the Greenlining Institute back in 2015 because that's when we first learned that Stockton was a very polluted community.
They told us, hey, did you know that your historic site is in the 100th percentile for asthma-related issues? When Greenlining told us about this, we found out that there was urban greening funds that were available. And when we looked at the community, we counted 127 empty tree wells. If we plant trees here, it'd be the first time in probably over 40 to 50 years that any public funds has been put into this community, which would then make it harder to destroy. We realized, we can't silo ourselves. The work that Don was doing and Little Manila was really shifting our culture locally to a community that was looking to the past to seek equitable answers for the future. She would end up dying at 46. of a heart attack that came on from an asthma attack. Dawn was born and raised in South Stockton, not too far from I-5. She developed asthma at an early age. It took her passing to have a full understanding of the devastation that's actually taking place in marginalized communities when it comes to environmental justice.
Through all this, we will see you and your spirit. We will see you in every young Pinay and Pinoy who pumps their fists in the air, inspired and empowered with the precious knowledge you will continue to teach to our community for generations to come.
You know, although we started out as an organization that was responding to a wrecking ball that was in front of some of our historic buildings, what we realized is that there's wrecking balls in front of everything in marginalized communities. So we understood that in order for our folks to have power, we really need to get land. We need to understand this game. We need to reshape it. We can't ask for other folks to prescribe a solution. Greenlining the block has helped to kind of unlock a pathway towards long-lasting, sustainable change to community.
Our relationship with Greenlining really has helped mobilize and bring in a lot of awareness for climate programs in Stockton. They were able to bring in a lot of state agencies to share like the climate grant opportunities, and that really helped Stockton start to receive a lot of investment. Our Greenlining the Block project, we just were able to purchase this building that we're gonna create as our Little Manila Rising Center. The specific site was very important to us. It was formerly a fraternal Filipino organization lodge. To be able to own it from a population that before wasn't able to have that opportunity, you're able to shape your own destiny in a way. By owning land, you root yourself in the community and you can't be displaced.
We will see you, Dawn, because as you stood in front of those 3 forgotten buildings in a community shattered and forsaken, you said, heck no, because you saw us, our heritage, our community, and what we could be. Thank you, Dawn. Thank you so much.